Hey guys, today's video, user requested video by quite a few of you guys. Armaf. Hello everybody, I am the Civilized Redneck Rick. You guys are watching Civilized Redneck Fragrance Reviews. Appreciate you joining me. Like I said, today's video we are looking at something you guys recommended. You want a breakdown of my collection of Armafs. You got it. The criteria real quick before we get started. Obviously I have 16 Armafs in my collection. These are the only ones that I'm going to rate or give you a breakdown. These are my personal favorites, not necessarily saying they're the closest, to what they're inspired to be like. It may be a clone of certain thing. I'm not saying based on the ratings how close they are. This is just my personal preference, and I will let you guys know what they're supposed to be clones or inspirations of. Let's get started. Let's not waste any time. First up, I've got Armaf Shades Wood as my least favorite in the collection. Not saying that, let's flip this guy up. Not saying that it's a terrible scent by any means. Me personally, I don't like rose in my fragrances as a men's fragrance. I just don't. I've tried different ones. This one is an inspiration of, let me find my notes here, by Kilian's Rose Oud. Guys, it's rose. I'll try to throw the fragrance picture of what it's a clone of up here. Not my favorite. It's just not, like I said, rose heavy in fragrances just doesn't work that well for me. It's a beautiful scent as far as the smell, but it's just that rose in there. I just can't handle it, guys. I'm sorry. So number 16, my least favorite in my collection, is this guy right here, and that's Shades Woods. Next up, you'll see a similar theme. This is Club de Nuit Intense Woman. Love the bottle. Beautiful bottle. Of course, you guys recognize this is a version of the Intense Man as far as the take on the bottle. This one is a inspired or clone of Tom Ford Nuit de Nuit, and I'll tell you, I'll just lie to you. Noir de Noir. It smells almost identical to it, but again, it's heavy on the rose. Now, the dry down on this one is quite nice. It does have some patchouli in there, which kind of gives it almost like a chocolatey rose smell. Just not my personal favorite. It's very feminine. Some of you guys might be able to pull this off, and it might rank a lot higher in your rotation. Like I said, it's almost a spot on, almost a 1-to-1 to Tom Ford Noir de Noir. It's just not my personal favorite. I don't care much for it just because it smells very feminine in my personal experience, and I just don't like a lot of rose, as I've said like 10 times already. So there's that guy. Next up, Armaf Shades, and I don't know what this one is supposed to be a clone of. I can't find anything. I've read several different things it's supposed to be a clone of, and I don't think it's a clone of any of those that I've read. Basically what it is to me, it's not a bad scent at all. It's just kind of dull. I don't know how. It's not bad, but there's nothing that really stands out about it, in my personal opinion. Like I said, I don't know what it's supposed to be a clone of. I've read several different things. I didn't think it was even close to any of those. Let's say it's not a terrible scent, Armaf Shades, but it just didn't do anything to separate it from anything back up here. I don't want to use this word generic, but it's a very generic scent. I don't know how else to describe it. Not bad. Armaf Shades, just nothing special about it in my opinion at all. Next one up is Club de Nuit, the man version. Again, you might recognize the bottle. This is inspired by or clone of Paco Rabanne 1 Million. And it's not a bad scent at all. That's just not my favorite DNA of That, and honestly, there's other cheapies like I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's the Cuba. I'll post it up here. I have it. That just does it better for like $7 or $8. This one's around $20. All of these are relatively cheap too. If anything, this one is like almost like 1 million, but toned down in the intensity. It's not nearly as strong, which works in its favor, to be honest with you. But that DNA is just burned out, and like I said, there's just so many that do it better, in my opinion. One of them being the Cuba. I can't remember which one it was. Prestige, maybe, I don't know. I'll throw it up there. But Club de Nuit Intense, or not Intense, Club de Nuit Man by Armaf. Next one up, Armaf El Cielo, which translates to the sky. This is the closest thing I could find as for a clone to this one is this guy right here, and this is Invictus Aqua. And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but look, I'll try to see if you can see it. There's stuff floating inside the juice there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's like particles floating inside. Now this is an EDP, I do believe. Yeah, it's Eau de Parfum. Smells a lot to me like Invictus Aqua. Now I might rate this higher come spring and warmer weather, summer. I'm not 100% sure. It's not a bad scent at all, but for right now, we're just winter transitioning into spring. I haven't given it a lot of wearing. It doesn't do the best job in the hospitals, and I don't get a lot of projection or performance from it. I only get about 4 hours. It's a pleasant scent though. Worth checking out. Like I said, under $20. El Cielo. Next one up, what I think are the best bottles in my collection, honestly, just classic good looking bottles, and this one might be a lot higher, but I'll tell you the story behind it. This is Debra Clubhouse Gold. Just love these bottles. These are just classic bottles, beautiful bottles from this line. Good heavy lids on these guys too. I enjoy this scent. I would enjoy it a lot more, but let me tell you the story first. The reason it's so low, which this is, what number are we on here? I've got my list here. So this is at number 11. It is a clone or inspired by Mont Blanc Legend, which is inspired by Abercrombie and Fierce, or Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. My roommate used to wear that. That's one of the big reasons I don't particularly enjoy that scent as much as I probably would otherwise. I used to wear it all the time and just, I don't know, just don't like it because of that reason. It's a good scent, like I said, don't get me wrong, but that's my personal connection with it, and why it's as low as it is it just reminds me of my roommate, and he had tendency sometimes to be a dick, so that's why. Not my favorite. But beautiful bottle. It's a good scent, and if you do like those fragrances, by the way, if you like those, this is almost a spot on, almost 100% clone of either one of those. Mont Blanc Legend, to me, it leans closer to the Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce classic scent. So if you're looking for that and you like that, check this one out. It is very good scent, but not my favorite. Next up is one that I love. The original Debra Clubhouse. See that one right there? Again, the classic, beautiful, just solid bottle in my opinion. This is a clone of, depending on how you look at it, a clone or inspired by Creed Original Santal, which of course was inspired, in my opinion, by Mont Blanc Individual. Now this one, you definitely get, smells so similar. Like I said this in a Facebook post somewhere, for you guys who don't follow me on Facebook. Here's my Facebook. Look me up. Send me a friend request. I'll put that up here. But I said in there, this one would be Mont Blanc Individual Intense, if such a thing existed. It's a more intense, a stronger version of Mont Blanc Individual. It smells similar to the Creed Original Santal, but I get more of the individual from it than I do the Creed. And of course the Creed, again, inspired by the individual. So this one definitely worth a pickup, guys. Number 10 on my list. And we're moving on up. This one just recently did a review of, and it's probably one of the strangest scents I have in my collection. It's just such a strange scent, but it works for me. This is Italiano Narrow Mo. Check that bottle out and the reflection off my light. I do like the faux wrapped leather on this bottle. Now this was supposed to be let me get my notes. I didn't know this at the time I did my review, but this is supposed to be an inspired or a clone of Paco Rabanne Black XS. No idea, never smelled it. What it's actually a clone of is this guy right here, Dole Pineapple Juice. That's basically what I get, is just a rich, syrupy pineapple smell from this. And everybody, again, like I said in the review, it's not a Venice pineapple. It's like you open a can or a bottle, whatever. Dole pineapple juice. It smells just like pineapple juice. Now, after about 15 or 20 minutes, I did start picking up some strawberry from this, and it's odd because neither one of those notes are in this at all. But that's basically what I get, is rich syrupy pineapple mixed in after about 20 minutes or so with some nice, actually smells good, strawberry, and then some musk in the dry down. But that's all this does to me. I've given it many times. It wears pretty well. It's pretty good longevity, pretty good projection, good sillage, but it just smells like pineapple juice. So check that one out if you like pineapple juice, I guess. And that is number 9, Italiano Narrow Mo. Check her out. Number 8. This got very difficult from this point on up, I won't lie to you. I'll explain why these are where they are, and let's just go ahead and go from there. Next up, Debra Clubhouse Blanche. Again, the beautiful bottle. Love these bottles. This one, I've got where it's at. It's supposed to be a clone of Creed Silver Mountain Water, right there. And it does have its similarities. It's not as inky as the Silver Mountain Water, and it's not as metallic. I don't know how, if you haven't smelled Silver Mountain Water, it has a very inky, almost like an ink pen. You grab an ink pen, it almost has that inky smell in it, and then also a metallic twang. This one's toned down some. The only reason this is not higher on my list is I have quite a few other Silver Mountain Water inspired by, or clones, however you want to say it, that are better and cheaper. Again, this is around $20. All of these are around $20, with the exception of a few, which I'll touch on when we get there. If it was closer, I'd probably have it higher, or if I didn't have some others that were cheaper, I'd probably rank this one higher. This is a very good scent, extremely close. I would say 90+%, or yeah, 90+%, if not even higher than that. Silver Mountain Water, about the same longevity, and you're looking at 4 to 5 hours, about a half an hour to an hour of projection. Very good scent. Would be higher, like I said, but oh well. Next one up is one that surprised me. I didn't hear a lot about, and it is extremely close to what it's inspired by. This is Legacy, and it is de Parfum. This is a clone or inspired by Chanel Platinum Egoiste. Not for everybody, not the most people-pleasing scent. I would call this one very elegant. A lot of people will say it smells like an old man. One thing I hate about this bottle is it opens up like this, to the point where I just took the hinge off because it drives me nuts. And then it does have a magnetic lid. And like I said, it did have the hinge, but that drives me crazy, so I'm not going to trade it or anything. But it normally would have a hinge here, and I just went ahead and took it off because it drives me nuts. It's hard to spray like that. I don't know if you guys, so I just took it off. Flip it around. I actually prefer that presentation over this one, so a lot of the times I will actually have it on my shelf backwards. I'm not a big fan of this tacky, I don't know if it's supposed to look like a wallet, purse, I don't know. I prefer that side better. But back to the smell. It's a very classy, very professional. A lot of people will say it's old man, and it is extremely close to Chanel's Platinum Mango East. If you guys haven't smelled that one, I'll do a review. Check it out. If you guys have smelled Platinum Mango East and enjoy it, this one is extremely close to it. May last as long. Projection on it, not the best, and I do have to spray heavy with this one. Either I go nose blind to it, or it's just not the best projector, so I do spray heavy on this one. Next one up is maybe one of the least talked about, but my goodness, it's good. This was recommended to me by Scott at 504 Man Reviews. I sent Danielson a sample, and he absolutely loves it. This is Debra Clubhouse Ascot. There you can see this one, and this is a clone of something I've actually never tried. It's supposed to be inspired by or a clone of Angaro pour l'Homme 3 Oud. There's that picture. That's a mouthful. Angaro pour l'Homme 3 Oud. That's what she's supposed to be inspired by. So let's put that right there. Man, this is just a fabulous scent. I recommend, instead of me telling you what it smells like, go check out Scott at 504's review of this. I'll try to put a link in the description. But exceptional. It smells classy. It smells elegant. It's rich. It is 110% manly. A woman could wear this only if she wants to smell like a man, in my opinion. It's one of the scents that I do. Decided to fall. Sorry about that, guys. So I do wear that one a lot outdoors. Recommend this one if you haven't given it a shot or heard much about it. It doesn't get a lot of attention. Debra Clubhouse Ascot, exceptional scent. I had it higher, but the ones in front of it I just couldn't bump down, so she's at number 6, but it is an exceptional scent. Alright, top 5, guys. This was probably the toughest top 5 I have for now. I'll give you a heads up for you. Coming soon is a Creed breakdown, so look forward to that. And before we get any further in the top 5, like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, all that stuff. Show me some love, appreciate it. Number 5, Armaf Shades Blue. This is an exceptional inspired by or clone of Bleu de Chanel, one of my favorite scents. I wanted this one higher as well, just couldn't with the top 4. This is almost an identical Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette clone or inspired by. I mean, it is so close. The biggest difference, instead of the grapefruit that's in the Bleu de Chanel at the top, this has a sweet lemon, and the incense is boiled way down. Other than that, I did a side-by-side. You guys can check it out here somewhere. I'll put the link in the description. Side-by-side at work, and every single nurse I asked after, halfway through the shift, which one is more expensive, which one smells better. Every single one of them chose this one over the Bleu de Chanel, which kind of hurt my feelings a little bit because I love Bleu de Chanel. Extremely close. Bleu de Chanel is expensive. $18 fragrance net with the coupon, 37% off. Check it out. Definitely worth it. I know Clay recently purchased this one. I think he's extremely pleased with it. Clay, hit us up in the comment and let me know what you think. That's another thing, guys. I'm a small YouTube channel. A lot of you guys subscribe to me, have become my friends. I can name off a whole bunch of you guys, but I appreciate your viewership, and I do consider you guys friends. Hit me up, like me on Facebook, we'll talk back and forth, and I even trade decants and stuff with y'all. So thank you, and it is appreciated. I talk a lot, but apparently I'm boring. So next up, one you don't hear a lot about. It's a very pleasant scent. It is Eau de Parfum. I lied. It's a Eau de Toilette. I thought it was parfum. I lied. It is a toilette. Being given it a wear, it is a very pleasant scent. I'll tell you why it's not higher. La Parfait, or Le Parfait. This is not technically a clone, This is a mixture of two Creed scents. This is a mixture of Green Irish Tweed and a little fragrance you might have heard of by the name of Venice. I get about 80% Green Irish Tweed from it, and then about 20% of Venice. Basically, it's Green Irish Tweed with a little bit of the pineapple from Venice, and it's closer to Green Irish Tweed all the way through. Other reviewers have mentioned that it dries down to be more like Venice or Club de Nuit Intense Man. It stayed, at least on my skin when I tested it every time, it stayed Green Irish Tweed, like 80% Green Irish Tweed with a little bit of Venice the whole way through. I would rate it higher because it is a very pleasant scent. It's more toned down than the Très Nuit, which is Green Irish Tweed clone. Very wearable. It's a good scent for the workplace actually, but it only gets me about 4 hours and then it's completely gone. And it's a good projection for about 45 minutes. Then it's a nice skin bubble. It's not out there. It has a good sealage still, but after 4 hours I can't detect it at all, so I have to hit up again, which it's cheap, $20 or so for the bottle, 100 ml. Good magnetic lid on this, and you can actually hold it by the lid. It's a good magnetic lid, and whatever reason that reminds me of the opening to one of the James Bond films. I'll put that up here so you guys, little tidbit of information. Green Irish Tweed, Creed at Venice, lasts about 4 hours or it would be higher. Very pleasant scent. Top 3, guys. Alright, number 3 might surprise a few of you. Club de Nuit Intense Man. This is a take on Creed of Venice, as you all know. A lot of people say it has the harsh opening, which, by the way, all these Armaf is known as a clone house or an inspiration house. They are alcoholic in the opening, guys. They just are. They have a strong burst of alcoholic, and that's pretty much every single scent for the first alcohol for the first 10-15 seconds to me. Then after that it tones down. A lot of people say this has a harsh opening for the first 15-20, half an hour. I don't get that. I don't mind the opening of this at all, and the dry down does smell close to Venice. However, there are fragrances out there, one being Supremacy Silver, that is almost a 100% Venice clone. I do have a couple different ones, different Venice. I think that's 19P11. I've got a couple others, and I just ordered another one from Raymond. So I've smelled 3 separate batches of Venice. None of them have. Venice is known as the king. I think it's the king of being overrated. I like the DNA, but it's not, to me personally, it's not the best from Creed. And it's just not what everybody's making it out to be. In my personal suggestion, I think it's just being overhyped. But if you do like it, and you do, that right there is pretty daggone close. Like I said, Supremacy Silver is a better Creed Adventus clone. It's about almost identical. It really is. It smells so much like it all the way through, except for not as loud. This one is loud. This one I cannot wear to work. My bottle anyway, very loud, projects very well, and it's not hospital safe, but it smells good, especially on the dry down. Alright guys, top 2. Do you know what they are? Have any idea? You guys probably thought this would be number 1 or 2. It's not. Number 2, you've heard me talk about it already. Venice is not my favorite from the house of Creed. Green Irish Tweed is. This is a Green Irish Tweed clone, or inspired by. Some of you guys get offended if something's called a clone. Well, sorry. Très Nuit. Armaf Très Nuit. This is a clone or inspired by Green Irish Tweed. You guys can see how much I wear that. It's been worn a lot. Green Irish Tweed is my favorite from the House of Creed. This is not 100% Green Irish Tweed, but it's close. It's actually not the closest clone of Green Irish Tweed that I have. And that's probably the reason it's not number one. Plus the number one scent is amazing. But this guy right here, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, that is Alamein LaVenture Night. I can't tell them apart. They smell identical to me as far as Green Irish Tweed and that one. This one's 95 to 98%. A little bit sweeter, I think, and it's a very pleasant scent. It's not bad at all. This lasts longer than this one does. That's why it's higher on the list. Like I said, I do get better performance out of this one. I do get better everything all the way around. And this is just such a good scent, guys. Under $20. Can't go wrong with it. I about guarantee that anybody passing you on the street would not be able to tell the difference between this and the 300 bottle of Green Irish Tweed. Almost guarantee it. And if you went with that one, I almost guarantee that nobody can tell the difference. If they can, they have a much better nose than I do. Nuit, Green Irish Tweed. That was our number 2. So, what's number 1? Anybody want to guess? It's a recent acquisition of mine. It was a little more hard to find than these other guys. It still wasn't extremely hard. I think it's on Fragrance Net now. It's been sold out for a long time. I think it's on there now. This is, I'll go ahead and show you. This is such a good scent. Armaf Fragrances. This is this guy right here. It was supposed to be a clone of Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense, somewhere in between. That's what it was supposed to be a clone of. To me, it is almost identical to Valentino Uomo Intense. Very close. And I want to show you this bottle, guys, because I've seen other people review this bottle and you really can't tell. This just looks like a square bottle with a lid. It's not. It's very geometrical. Check out see those angles on that? And then check out the side. I was shocked when this bottle came in because I had not seen this. Look at those angles. And any reviewer had shown me this bottle, and I really enjoy the different lines on it. It's completely different than a lot of the other bottles out there. I'm not the biggest fan of the sprayer being offset. It's just little stuff. Man, that smells good. I recently gave my buddy Eric at work a decant of this. He hates it. So this is, I swear, it's just filling up the room right now. I swear it smells almost identical to me to Valentino Uomo Intense. So good. And this is Eau de Parfum, by the way. The Eau de Parfum. So it lasts a very long time. Eric doesn't like it. It's strong. It gets the lipstick vibe. And also, backtracing a little bit, all of these from this line, he says he picks up the makeup and lipstick from all of these in this line. I don't get that, but Eric says every single one of them, so it's kind of funny how a different scent can work differently for everybody. Like I said, Eric doesn't like this one at all. I absolutely love it. That's why it's number 1. Lasts forever on me. Good sprayer, exceptional smell. It smells just like, in my opinion, what I pick up on my skin smells just like this, almost identical. And this is one of my favorites. So Armaf, I don't think, like I said, it has listed as Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense, somewhere in between them. It is almost identical to Valentino Uomo Intense in my personal experience. Doesn't get a lot of hype. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. That's my number 1 from Armaf, and it's just exceptional. Again, these are based on my own personal experiences and my own personal likes. Like I said, this one, that's because my roommate used to wear it. It could be much higher on your list. Very good scent, but it was all the way down to 11 or something on my list. But guys, that's what I've got. I am the Civilized Redneck Rick. Thank you for joining me. If it was your first time, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you're one of the guys that's been with me forever, like I said, Howie, been with me from the beginning. He's the one that sent me the decant and recommended this, and it's my number one. So thank you, Howie. Like I said, if you just joined me, thank you. If you've been with me forever, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. Civilized Redneck Rick, Redneck Nation, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace. All that stuff. And I am out of here, guys. Thank you.
Small Fry Squad, give me a nod, or maybe a thumbs up, and maybe a thumbs down. But if you do, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why, so I can fix myself and be better for the Redneck Nation. Yeah. Small Fry Squad.